What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the future of the MCU. So by now, you should have went out to watch Spider-Man Far From Home because quite frankly, guys, it is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie ever, in my opinion. I really did enjoy it. I've seen it twice now. Pretty freaking insane movie. Let me know down below, guys, what is your favorite Marvel Cinematic movie down below and why. So we're going to talk about how the Secret Invasion was set up during Captain Marvel and how they continue this theme throughout Spider-Man Far From Home. So if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of these videos or any of the news-based videos. So we are giving away Captain Marvel on Blu-ray or DVD or 4K or digital download, whatever version you want. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel and let me know down below how are you excited for the next phase of Marvel and the next phase of pop culture news, really, because it's not just Marvel, there's DC, there's loads of cool other things coming up on this channel. So we have San Diego Comic-Con in just under 2 weeks, which is pretty damn awesome. Hopefully we'll get some reveals. We know the Marvel Avengers project will be there. We know they're going to be talking about the VR Iron Man game and also Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which comes out on Nintendo Switch 2 days after San Diego Comic-Con Thursday night preview start. So let's get into this video. So the Skrull invasion is basically where a bunch of Skrulls invaded Earth in the comic books. It's a very advanced and very interesting storyline. Although the way they set up Captain Marvel and the way they ended Captain Marvel made us believe that the Secret Invasion wasn't going to happen until the writer for Captain Marvel and Kevin Feige came out and said, we're not close to the idea. And it appears they are doing the Secret Invasion, but they might be doing it very different. So during one of the post-credit scenes, we got to meet Sword. Sword are working with Nick Fury. So let's get into the context of this video. So throughout Spider-Man Far From Home, there were a lot of inklings that said maybe they are going to flip the Secret Invasion on our head. So it's not going to be a Skrull invasion, it's going to be a Kree invasion. As we know, Talos, played by Ben Mendelsohn, killed it in Captain Marvel. He was a part of Spider-Man Far From Home, which no one's seen this coming, guys. You know, people say, oh, I seen that post-credit scene coming. No one's seen that coming. I personally thought that Nick Fury was going to be Chameleon, but that was not true, was it? So there was a big reveal in this movie. There was so many reveals in this Spider-Man Far From Home, and that is why I think this is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie we've ever had. So there's going to be an intergalactic war coming where we're going to find out more information about this in Captain Marvel 2. So Sword was introduced in a post-credit scene, well, a mid-credit scene. So Sword stands for Sentinel World Observation and Response Department. And it looks like Nick Fury is on a secret mission with the Skrulls. Now, what are they doing? We don't know. I personally think that maybe we're going to get an inverse Secret Invasion with some bad Kree, because not all Kree are bad, and some bad Skrulls, because not all the Skrulls are good, as we were led to believe. So it's been over 20 years since the Captain Marvel movie, although for us, it's literally been a bunch of movies. It's been, obviously, we had Captain Marvel, we had EndGame, and now we've got Spider-Man Far From Home. So they introduced Kree cells on Earth during this movie. Really interesting. So there's a line in this movie where Talos' version of Fury mentions the cells of Kree aliens now inhabit Earth. Now, this is very interesting, and it was a throwaway line. But knowing that the Skrulls are pretty advanced, Talos specifically has had a quite difficult time with the Kree in the past, as shown in the Captain Marvel movie. So we have Kree cells on Earth. Now, what could this mean? It essentially means there is many different Kree on Earth pretending to be humans when realistically they're not humans. So we could already have a secret invasion on Earth, but it being Kree instead of it being Skrull. Now this is very fascinating. It really is fascinating, because this tells us that they've already put the groundwork in to introduce a secret invasion without us actually knowing about it to Spider-Man Far From Home. This is why Spider-Man Far From Home is one of the best movies ever, because you don't have to watch Avengers 3 or Avengers 4 to understand what happened. You can literally watch Spider-Man Far From Home and you'll know EndGame. You'll know essentially what happened during EndGame. Now, what is interesting is they could also reintroduce Yon-Rogg, who was played by Jude Law. Why? Because Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson, she didn't kill him. So Yon-Rogg could be behind everything. It is interesting because so much time has passed, and I presume we're going to find out more about what is coming up in the MCU. So it does make sense why there's a lot of cosmic beings' name being thrown around, like Nova, like Adam Warlock, like Beta Ray Bill. Because if there was a secret invasion from an alien's point of view, because Krees are a form of an alien, then characters like this could help. As we know, we won't be seeing Robert Downey Jr. again and Chris Evans. They're done. But the cosmic side is only just getting popping. So, the Secret Invasion storyline is based around the idea that these Kree cells popping up on Earth, while the alien race is usually best known for their blue-skinned look. They also have pink Kree that look identical to humans. These Krees could be planted themselves around Earth, intending to slay and take over Earth, planet Earth. They don't have to shapeshift, but they do have shapeshifting abilities of their green alien enemies. But they can blend in and look exactly like us. Take Star Force in Captain Marvel. You would not know that any of them were Kree, would you? This allows the MCU to have a secret invasion without it having to be a crazy comic book storyline where they've got to set everything up for years and years and years and years, because it's already set up. It's been set up during Captain Marvel movie. It's been set up during Spider-Man Far From Home. The only question is, how is it going to play out? So we've said on this channel multiple times that Avengers 5 is going to be Secret Invasion, and this is our strongest evidence that we've got that maybe Avengers 5 will be the Secret Invasion, but it's going to be the reverse Secret Invasion. But let's be honest, guys, Marvel don't overcomplicate things, do they? I mean, let's just remember all the fake news, the fake rumors. You know, how Avengers EndGame was really going to be called Annihilation and all that fake news that came with that. They won't call the next Avengers movies Avengers 5, the reverse Secret Invasion. But it is cool. So instead of the Skrulls invading, it could actually be the Kree. Now, what is interesting is this movie wouldn't have to be set in the present day, would it? Or would it? It's interesting. So they could bring back Yon-Rogg potentially. And Ronan the Accuser did promise to come back to Earth and take out Captain Marvel. But after dying in Guardians of the Galaxy, that is not very likely. But the Captain Marvel ending was very clever because everyone thought that Yon-Rogg, played by Jude Law, was going to be over and that was going to be his one and only role in the MCU. He could be leading this secret invasion. The Kree have already invaded Earth. Now, a lot of people missed this because, yes, the Kree cell line, it was kind of a bit quick when he said it. And obviously, if you've watched the movie a few times, you would have noticed a lot of things. Like there's a teaser that we mentioned in the video earlier today about the Fantastic Four. Is it an Easter egg towards the Fantastic Four and the Baxter Building? Obviously, the Avengers Tower being turned into the Baxter Building by Reed Richards. Maybe not, but there's a lot of little teasers here and there. There are still teasers here and there in Avengers EndGame that no one has spotted. Recently, the Russo bros, although I don't really listen to what they say because they were just the directors, they didn't write the movie, but they said there's still some things out there that no one has picked up on. So it's going to be very interesting to see how long it takes for everyone to notice everything that was said in this movie. So my question is, what role is the real Nick Fury going to have with whatever mission he's on in space? Because what mission is he on that would allow him to entrust Talos and his wife to give Peter Parker Edith, which is the most advanced system ever, to Talos? And of course, Talos didn't know the Avengers, so of course he couldn't get any. It's very, very interesting to see what is Nick Fury's message. Why did he allow Talos to do that? It is a very interesting part of that movie, which not many people have explained. So what does Edith mean? Even dead, I'm the hero. Now that's pretty funny. Essentially, it's an AI created by Tony Stark to be used by Peter Parker. But obviously, we all know the Spider-Man Far From Home plot. But it's going to be very interesting to find out more about Spider-Man Far From Home because it's not as open and it's closed, as many people thought. So I'm going to dive into a little bit about, I think, what Nick Fury could actually be doing in space. Let me know down below, guys, if you agree or disagree with me. So during the Spider-Man Far From Home movie, in fact, in the trailer, there is a dialogue with Peter Parker and the imposter Nick Fury being Talos, when Peter Parker says Captain Marvel, and he responds, don't invoke her name. So it could just be a simple case that Nick Fury is in space looking for Captain Marvel. But why? Well, obviously because Captain Marvel is Earth's strongest, most powerful cosmic being, and she's got at least 5 more movies left on her contract, which would be very, very interesting. Maybe that's why Nick Fury's in space. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Obviously, as we know, what would have happened was the kind of Edith glasses would have been given to Nick Fury post EndGame, and then Fury would have given the glasses to Talos. But the reason is, why would he do that? So is it because Captain Marvel has gone missing, and in order to find her, he's working with the Skrull somewhere in space? But obviously, because the Kree are still working secretly, then the kind of treaty is invalid secretly. There's a lot of trials and tribulations that come out throughout Spider-Man Far From Home. Or maybe it could just be SWORD, which we've alluded to in this video already, the Sentinel World Observation and Responsive Department. Basically, he's out there because he's trying to stop any, I guess you could say, threats to the Earth, and maybe that's why he's out there, because he's obviously realized that Thanos, and post-Endgame, he wants to stop anything happening, even though he's dusted. Maybe it could just be that, or maybe there is something going on that no one can break down. I'd love to know what you guys think down below. I'm really interested to find out what you guys think's going on here. Could it be the secret invasion? Could it be the Kree have infiltrated and Nick Fury's out there trying to stop any more threats? Because you got to remember, there is no Iron Man. Yes, there is Edith, but Edith, even dead, I'm the hero, can only do so much. And there's going to be new threats. Obviously, there's the Fantastic Four, there's Galactus, there's the X-Men, there's so much craziness coming. The Silver Surfer, the Living Tribunal, there's so many threats. So he's had to team up with the Skrulls to find out what is going on. And also, to find out what other species they're going to introduce. It's going to be crazy. But one thing for sure is S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically disappeared. So maybe SWORD is kind of the new S.H.I.E.L.D. in the cosmic being, because as we know, before James Gunn got fired, everything was going cosmic with Spider-Man being the grounded level. So they've introduced so much in this movie that you need to watch it so many times to find out everything about this movie. Because, let's face it, without Tony Stark, the world is going to suffer. And maybe it's just a case that Tony Stark was right. They needed to put a shield around Earth. No pun intended. Age of Ultron, you get it? Up there, that's EndGame. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe they want to put a shield around Earth to protect it, and maybe that's the reason why Nick Fury appears to be with SWORD, or on SWORD at the peak. It's very interesting, guys. So let me know. Is this a reference to Avengers 5 Secret Invasion? Is there going to be a Kree Secret Invasion? Or is there going to be a Warstu invasion? Now, if you got this far in the video, comment down below, Warstu invasion. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. We are so close to hitting the channel's lifetime goal of hitting 100,000 subscribers and proving everyone wrong that anyone can do it. So like always, guys, I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.